Hello troops, another day, another drain, and for once I wasn't here at the crack of dawn, first light. I had a few jobs to do around the garden, so I got them all done for the wife by about 9 o'clock, and it actually done me a favour because I put my gear in the car, whizzed round to the river. The river's flooded, so it's, you know, could have fished it, but I'd have been struggling all day just to fish the margins and hold the bottom, present me bait. So what I've done is I thought, sod it, I'll nip round to a drain. Now the drain, the water's high. I mean, it's not overly high, it's about a foot higher than normal. It's got very gentle flow, but it's chocolate brown. There's plenty of rainwater in there. But it's more than fishable. I can fish every part of the swim I want. I can present me baits wherever I want, whenever I want. So it's not bad conditions really. The water's not very clear, as I say, it's chocolate brown, but I have seen fish moving around, silverfish. So I'm hoping to do some pike around. I've got 2 statics and 1 paternostered. So for once, it's a late start. I think it's about 11 o'clock now. A late start for me, but I don't mind starting late. You know, the worst thing for me would have been if I had gone out at the crack of dawn, set up in the dark, and then once it got light, really didn't fancy it, and then had to pack everything up and move anyway. So at least I got to look at the river in the cold, hard light of day, and it you know, as I say, I could have fished it, but I think I have better results from the drain today, so that's what I've done. As I say, I've got 3 rods, I'll show you the swim in a minute. 2 statics, 1 paternostered. Gonna have a little juggle around. First of all, I just got 2 static deads out, then set up a 3rd rod. That's a running water paternoster rig. So the drain's got a nice gentle flow to it. It's really, you know, it's not bad at all. So I might even put a 2nd paternoster on maybe. But at the moment we're out, we're fishing. It's a glorious day. It's very, very mild. I'm going to get this top off in a minute. And we're in for showers though, apparently, and some can be quite heavy. So we're out, we're fishing, we're after pike. What more could you want? And I've even got a few brownie points by doing the household chores. So let's catch some pike. As you can see, that drain's got a nice tinge of chocolate to it. The left hand margin rod. There's the float. That's a static sardine, and it done size 8 semi-barbless trebles. That's the static dead. The middle rod, that's a paternoster, a running water paternoster brig. That's got a roach on it, mounted on a single circle hook through the snout. And the right hand rod, that is a static smelt. Again, mounted on size 8 semi-barbless trebles. A few spots of rain in the air at the moment as we're talking. We're out, rods are high, keep the line out of the water, stop the debris taking them out. But it's not hurtling through, and there's not lots of debris, so quite happy. Thought I saw a little bit of movement on that float on the right hand rod. The whole sardine. Only moved 2 or 3 inches to the right, but it did move. Now I fish slightly over depth, so you get a natural movement of the float that goes with the flow. But it looked quite deliberate to me. The only problem with having the rods this high and the line out of the water is I don't have my normal slack line. When you can really tell if something's out there when you've got slack line. The movement in the line gives it away every time. Of course, with conditions as they are, it could be some debris hit the line below the surface and moved it. And normally you'd expect, if it was a pike, you'd expect the bite to develop pretty quickly, really. You know, it's been a minute, 60, it could have been at least 60 seconds. That was a pike there. I think they would have had it away by now. Oh well, a little bit of excitement, got my hopes up for a split second. No cigar. We're off the margin rod. It's a little bubby. Let's get the pan net. Well, we've been fishing an hour. We've had a first run of the session. You come off at the net. I could see the treble, the bottom treble was like just on its lip. I thought, and yeah, hook slipped just as I was about to put the net under it. Well, that's the way it goes. It was a jack, but it wasn't landed, so it doesn't count. So you know, you got to get them in the net and touch them, haven't you? So we're still on the blank, but we've been fishing an hour, so we've had a run. I was down in the margins on a whole smelt. So at least I know there's fish down there. They're taking smelt on the deck in the margin, so good news. Good news and bad news, isn't it? You know, as I say, you got to touch it, haven't you? That's my theory, anyway. You know, if you haven't touched the fish, I don't think you've caught it. So, oh well. Well, it definitely didn't catch it. It didn't even get in the net, did it? So that's academic discussion, isn't it? But I'm pleased with that. You know, I was sitting there pondering. I think should I change things up? Should I do something? Should I try and make something happen? And then hit the left rod hard as well. And it took it out in mid-channel when it was running with it. So yeah, we wound up straight. I say it was just the bottom hook, but it's boosted the confidence. Let's crack on. Let's actually get one in the net and on the bank and show you it this time. Morning troops, another day, another drain. I cut yesterday's afternoon session off short rather abruptly. I was nothing to do with the fishing or the conditions. My daughter passed a hazard perception and theory test yesterday, so I thought, sod it, I'm going to pack up and go home for a family dinner. You know, sometimes other things are more important. Yeah, so we had a quick wrap up, shot off home, had a nice dinner with the family and everything, and back out again. First thing this morning, I checked out 2 drains, and diabolical really. The drainage board, it's flood management, flood control, but everything's done by computer and gauges. And the 2 drains I wanted to fish were 18 inches deep max, which is not, I mean, I've had 20s out of this drain in 18 inches of water before, but the swims that I wanted to fish, they were quite dangerous for landing and returning fish. That's all. That's the only reason I didn't fish them. You know, if I can't land and return the fish safely, I don't see any point really. So yes, we've had a good old drive around. So we're on a Boston Club water, and I'm gonna fish it till about midday. If I ain't had anything by midday, I'm gonna up sticks and move along the stretch and see if I can find some fish further upstream. No, sorry, downstream. But at the moment we've got 3 rods out. Left hand rod is a whole sardine mounted on size 8 semi-barbless trebles, and that's a static dead. The middle rod is running water paternoster rig, although there's not a great deal of flow in it. There's a little gentle meander. That's a whole roach mounted on a single circle hook. And on my right hand rod I've got a smelt, that's a static dead. And that's mounted on size 8 semi-barbless trebles as well. So we've got 3 rods out. It's a glorious morning. It's not, well, there's some clouds over that way, but can have some blue skies for a change. It's going to be bright, hopefully. I mean, there's enough colour in the water, so that's not a problem. Hopefully we'll have some fish, multiple catches. See, you know, we've had a real lean period. Everyone says in the comments that this January's been really hard, and it's not surprising really. Fluctuating temperatures, fluctuating air pressure, fluctuating water levels. It's up and down all the time. The fish don't know whether they're coming or going. What you need is a constant pressure, constant temperature. It doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter if it's -2 for a week or 2 or 5 or 6 for a week or 2, but as long as it's steady, then the fish know where they are. They know what it's all about. When it's up and down all the time, it's quite hard on the fishing. So as I say, we've got 3 rods out. Just seen a couple of herons over there, and there's been plenty of swans around this morning, plenty of wildlife. It's lovely, beautiful morning, birds are singing. Let's catch a pike to go with it. Well, what can I say? 2025 continues to frustrate. We've had one bit of interest, one bit of action-ish, and a pike nicked the bait. One tone, beep, went down to the rod. See the float just jog a little bit, nothing. I waited and waited and hoped the bite would develop, but nothing happened, so reeled him, yep. Sardine gone, so that was that. And then we had a real bend in the rod, almost bent double over. Sadly it weren't a fish, it was a swan. 3 of them decided to have a punch up. I would say a face off, but they weren't, they were actually going at it. Right in the middle of my swim. Good job, it's not why I use them, but good job for a single hook, because one of the swans went through, took my middle rod clean out, and then obviously felt the line and the lead, etc., and started to fly almost. down the drain, so I held on tight, rod tip under the water, try and keep it as low as possible, and luckily enough it pulled right through clear. Swan not damaged, me not damaged, just lost the bait, but small price to pay for the swan safety I suppose. But it was absolutely pandemonium for about 5 minutes then. They were going at each other all the time. They've gone, they've disappeared, but it's one of those swims, they'll be back. It's a major junction for all the swans, so I've had a little bit of a swap around there. You know, there's a lot of debris coming down underneath you don't see. You know, there's a lot of silt. And the static dead on the right hand rod was coming back covered in it, even the hooks, everything masked. So I've stuck the paternoster out there that way, keep that bait off the deck, out of it. So the middle rod has gone to the far bank as a static dead, that's the smelt. I've been working that sardine on the left hand rod, so we've had one bit of interest on that, but that was it. It's decision time soon. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I've got to make my mind up. Am I staying and hoping for a run from a biggie, or am I moving? Time will tell. And there's another swan behind me. Yes, and they're natural patrol route around there, so you've got to watch your gear there. But I haven't got a bait out on that point, so we're all good. Come on, let's catch some pike. Come on, 2025. It's time for the fishing gods to turn around and do me a favour, I reckon. Don't get any favours in this game. Well, the move's paid off. Instant hit. Not been fishing 5 minutes. We've had one. Success at last this time of year. Covered in leeches, covered in lice, so it's been holed up in the cold water. Little bit of damage on the tail, as you can see. Other than that, tip-top condition. Oh my days. Look at that. We're away. We're up and running. Let's get this beauty back, see if we can get some bigger. Well, sorry troops, didn't have much time to explain why I moved it. Pretty obvious. I weren't catching anything. Yeah, I'd sat in that swim for like 3 hours, close to 4. Had one abortive run where the pike nicked the bait, but other than that it was you know, I was looking at the swim, was there any silverfish topping, was I getting any encouragement, and I weren't really, so I thought, sod it, jump in the car quickly, let's go to the next section. Well, I hadn't even thought I was going to come to the next section. I was going to whiz off to another drain, and I just come along and I thought, oh, that swim looks fishy. I haven't fished it for a few years now, so I thought I'll give it a go. And I say, I've had one straight away. It was covered in leeches and this stuff, so it's obviously holed up. But we've had one, that's the main thing. So, you know, I always say, if you're umming and ahhing, if you're not confident in your swim you're in, you might as well up sticks and go somewhere else. Well, that's what I've done, and I'm glad I've done it. So, you know, as I say, we're off and running. Finally got a fish. It's been hard work this January so far, but hopefully we'll have a steady, even kill with the weather, and then the sport will pick up. Well, we've had one. I like the look of it. I think I'll pretty, you know, hopefully we'll have some more. But yeah, if you're in two minds and you're not confident, what's the point? You know, you might as well just get up and go, bush. So that's what I've done, and luckily this time it paid off. Now the argument, you push up sticks and go somewhere else again. No, I'm not leapfrogging all day. I mean, I'm quite happy. I like the features on this swim. It's not too bad at all. You know, it instills confidence in you when you have a fish straight away and in a spot you chose to swim for. That right hand rod was the first rod I put out, because that's exactly why I stopped it. That spot, that part of the swim was exactly why I stopped. So I flicked the bait in there, 5 to 10 minutes and we were away. So hopefully there'll be more where that came from. The sun's shining, it's really very mild. As you can see behind me, blue skies, gentle breeze, birds are singing. We've had a pike, all's right with the world. Let's have a monster pike now. Wow. Plenty of midges around, so it's been mild. It's been a very mild day. The sun's starting to dip over the horizon now. Temperatures dropping quickly. They're running the drain off a hell of a lot faster than they was for most of the day too. So it's a lot of debris coming down at the moment. Still no problem holding bottom. But we ain't had any interest since we arrived, you know. Bosh. Instant hit, 5 minutes in the swim from a pike that was holed up under the bridge, and since then nothing. You know, it's a shame. I thought this swim might produce a fish or two. It produced a fish, but I was hoping for multiple fish. But it's still early. You know, the light levels are dropping. It was a very bright day, so. But the water clarity is. It's got enough colour in it for the brightness not to have really affected it, I don't think. But hopefully, you know, now the light levels are dropping, maybe the pike will come out to play. We'll get a run or two before it gets dark. Sticking it out till it gets dark. Packed up early yesterday, so gonna give it a full Monty today. Lost one yesterday, we've had one today. Still time enough, hour and a half maybe. Between an hour and a half of daylight left, so just boosted all 3 baits. Let's hope we'll find a way it brings us a few more fish on the bank. Thanks for watching, troops. I really do appreciate it. Take care. I'll see you on the bank real soon. At least we caught fish this time. Been a tough January, but we're heading in the right direction. You know, the pike will be spawning soon, so it's you know, late February, early March. Hopefully they'll be on the munch. Let's get some consistent weather, some consistent temperatures, consistent air pressure, and we'll all fill our boots, because they're, you know, they're not feeding at the moment, but they will be. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you can have a cracking session. Tight line, troops. See you on the bank real soon.